Good morning. Hello, YouTube world here. Let's just adjust everything here a little bit. All right. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, all the radio stations will get on here with me. Down to one heifer. And yeah, nice sunny morning. No wind this morning. Pretty awesome. So yeah, let me know if you're on here. KFYR, KOLY, and KGFX. Let me know when you guys are ready to rock and roll here. 6:53:12 is my time stamp right there. All right. Good show today. For those of you just watching exclusively on YouTube, my first one is we're going to be talking fishing in South Dakota with Kevin Vaughn from Wild Walleye Outfitters and Andy Murdoch from Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty and Mr. Trent Loos from Loose Tales, Dakota Trails and Tales, and all that good stuff. So just a reminder, if you're watching exclusively on YouTube, we don't go live with the actual program here for another, it'll be about 15 minutes, 12 minutes, another 12 minutes. So if you need to, if you're watching this on YouTube at a later date, you can skip ahead 12 minutes into the thing and you start with the show there. If not, and you're live this morning. Morning, Jim. Jim Hulk. Good to see you. Oops. There you go. Ready to rock and roll. Mike Wagner. Good morning, Mike. Deal. All right. Good to go. G to G. I think I need a few more screens. Yeah, happy Easter, Mike. I agree. And Mike, you're the only one that I can say happy Easter to that I know you truly understand what Easter is. I appreciate that, buddy. See you live now. Clay, good morning. Good to have you on the tube. I better mute that behind me here. Yes, sir. I got a Karen. Good morning. Morning, Karen. Did they just make you work every Saturday, Karen, down there? I should say over there. We're about the same altitude there. Good enough. Good. Just like, it's nice to have those people that enjoy that Saturday shift or the morning shift like that. It gives a little bit more consistency. I do agree. I wonder how Jeff Jensen's doing down that way. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Actually, got to get a fishing trip lined up down there with Brent Chemnitz as well. See how he's been doing as well. Okay. Wish I had another webcam that I could hook into this. So the one on my laptop. Okay, so we got all the stations ready to roll. A few other people on here. Got that dubbed in. Good enough. Thank you, Mikey. Good deal. Everybody's kind of on the downslope of calving, which is awesome. That means brandings. You bet. First branding, first Saturday of May. May 4th. Actually, 2 brandings on that day. Ooh. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Clay, trust me. I'm very fortunate to have consolidated. And I know Mobridge has West River. I don't know if they're using it or not on KOLY or not, but I'm telling you right now, we are very fortunate to have the rural telecom broadband because I have 1 gig at the ranch and I am 90 miles from Dickinson. So, yeah, I'm very fortunate. Very good. I'm going to call my first guest. So it's going to go dead-ish. You'll kind of hear me a little bit. Got to get them lined out. I would play music in the background, but yeah, I don't know how to pay for it yet on YouTube, and they won't let me play any without blocking me. Go to YouTube jail. Kevin, good morning. How are you doing, sir? Oh, really? Wow. That's cool, man. Awesome. So we have the first segment with you, so about 10 minutes. Um, One of the questions that I was mailed a while back is about fly fishing in South Dakota. Do you know anything about it? Okay, okay, good enough. If you run across anybody that you know of that does it, that would be willing to come on the radio, try to get their information and text it to me. Second question I have for you before we go on here. Did you send me a Facebook request or is that a fake one? You did. Like in the last 2 weeks? Yeah. Okay. 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 And I'll add you here because I don't know anymore with ISIS. ISIS trying to. I call him ISIS, but I don't think what he is, but still. So yeah. So my show has expanded since the last time you've been on. It is now thanks. This Saturday show is now being picked up not only by KFYR out of Bismarck, it's also picked up by KOLY out of Mobridge, and also KGFX out of Pierre, South Dakota. So this morning you're running the whole gauntlet of the Missouri River Basin, 6 states, a couple Canadian provinces, and also it's going live on YouTube as well. So that's the way that I'm sending my radio show out to everybody is via YouTube. So if you want to come back and listen to it, it'll be automatically posted up there later on. Okay, good. I hope it fills up again for you like it did last year. Good. Ice is off. Is the ice off on most everywhere? We got about 3 minutes. I'm going to throw you back on onto the live channel here. You'll be able to hear me, but I won't be able to hear you until we actually start the program. Okay? Okay, stand by, sir. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. All right, YouTube friends. We're coming up here on 7:0, a little after 7:03. We got 3 minutes and we'll be live. That's ready to rock and roll. And yeah. Enjoy life on YouTube. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio on the channel. If anybody wants to spread that word, that would just be dandy. Test 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Ready to rock and roll here. All right. Bismarck, Mobridge, Pier, all three hooked up. Plus, I believe Clay's on here live. Thank you, Clay. Doesn't look like Jesse got up this morning. He just had a birthday, so he is another year older. If I can give away Karen and Jim, just to let you know, I'm going to try to give away a Dakota Prairie Outdoors mug somehow, sometime today. Not sure how. I'll figure it out, though. Let's see. YouTube live. Yep, ready to rock and roll. 1 minute, 15 seconds. In 30 seconds. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Live on KFYR to Bismarck, North Dakota, KOLY, Mobridge, South Dakota, also KGFX in Pier, South Dakota as well. Good to have you along here this morning. I'm Scott Bachmeyer, your host here for the next hour, as we get rocking and rolling on a live outdoor show where it gives you the chance to call in and be part of it. If you have questions, comments, concerns, and all that good stuff, feel free to call in. 888-9-DAKOTA is the phone number. 888-932-5682 on the live side. If you're watching me on YouTube, good to have you along here on the tube here as well. Thanks for video, just logging in and subscribing to my channel. If you want to do that, that's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio on YouTube. Subscribe and watch it that way. You can watch previous versions every Saturday show, and I just might be doing some other type of things here. Got a great show lined up. First off, we head to South Dakota. Let's go to the Black Hills and Kevin Vaughn, Wild Walleye Outfitters. Morning, Kevin. How you been, sir?
Oh, just wonderful. How you doing, Scott?
I am down to one heifer to calve out, and I'm 75% done with my cow herd. I'm doing a lot better. I went from checking every hour and a half to about every 4 hours now, and I'm actually getting a little bit more sleep. So if you see me on YouTube, I look a lot better than I did last week. I'll tell you that.
Well, it sounds like you got some time to get out and go fishing now then.
Well, pretty darn quick, once branding season's going to come around here pretty quick. And then, I have a little bit of time in June before we start the hay up here. That's when my fishing season starts. So get after that. And then, of course, after haying is all done. So I'll probably be giving you a call and seeing if we can come down and do some fishing. So how's the fishing been in the Black Hills, man? Where have you been? What have you been doing? What have you been doing?
Well, we've been keeping pretty busy. We spent about 3 days down on Angostura. The fishing down there was really tough. A lot of water coming into the lake. The water clarity is about the consistency of chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
We did pick up a couple fish down there, but it took a lot of hours and a lot of patience to get them. Weekend after that, we ventured out to the Missouri River there by Chamberlain, and we did really well. Once again, there's a lot of water, but it wasn't real dirty. We did real good out there. Spent a couple days out there, and we were putting a couple limits of fish in the boat within about 2 hours.
Nice.
Fish are just getting ready to spawn out there. And then last night we were up at Orman, and same thing up there. Lake is full, lots of water in there, and the walleye are moving into their spawning spots. The males are starting to milk, and the bite's picking up pretty good.
Well, let's talk about the Missouri River side of things here for a little bit. Where exactly are you finding the best fishing spots? Are you trolling, or are you just pitching jigs? What's your plan when you head over to the river on that?
We were just pitching jigs and looking for points and gravel points and kind of some structure and a little bit of a current break, and we were doing pretty good there. We were pulling plugs about 15 foot of water, and we were picking fish up doing that. Still not moving super fast, but kind of right about 1 mile an hour, and then like I say, pitching jigs into structure and points and gravel beds there, and we were starting to pick up some pretty good fish. Couple real nice females, plumb full eggs that we took a picture and put them back in the water and let them go have their babies.
I was just going to ask you if you did a little catch and release on some of them because, it is close to spawning time, and we need, the more fish, the more we can get out there and have fun, right?
Exactly. This time of year, I don't keep a fish hardly. We throw pretty much everything back. During the spawn, if we catch some smaller males milking, we keep them. But yeah, all the females we catch go right back in the water just so that there is a future walleye.
Yeah. That's awesome. So when you get back off the river and you go into more of those separate lakes across, like Orman, you said most of the ice now is off, and you said might be a little bit more up at Pactola, maybe some ice up in the back bays.
Yep. There may be a little bit of ice up there. Pactola Sheridan might have just a touch of ice on it, but for everywhere I've been, ice is completely off, and the lakes are plumb full of water. I know Angostura, it was overflow. They've been kind of running the floodgates, and I think they've shut them down now, and they're kind of letting things settle down there. So the fishing should start picking up down there as well.
Now, last year I started having you on the program here because I saw a little Facebook post here about Wild Walleye Outfitters. You started out. You had a pretty successful season as a start-out fishing guide. What are you looking at this year? Are you looking at booking up solid yet, or what's happening?
We've got a heck of a start for the year. We've had one group out already. I was a little nervous if we were going to be able to get the boat on the water or not. And as luck had it, the ice come off about 3 days before they were due to come up and go fishing, and we went down and we spent about 2 days pre-fishing trying to get on the fish and everything, and they come out, had a great time. We've got several trips already booked for this spring. Spots are pretty full. I really couldn't be happier with the way things are working. I last year when I started, I told you, if I just got a few calls and got to take a couple people out fishing, I'd be ecstatic. And last late summer, I guess it would have been, we took about 5-6 groups out, and then it continued through the winter. We had, I think throughout the winter, we had about 10 groups go out fishing, and ice fishing was a real tough season for us, especially up at Orman.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of, due to conditions up there and the toughness of it, we kind of opened it up and started going down to Angostura. And I mean, we did awesome down there. We were bringing home nice big limits of walleye, catching lots of fish. The end of the season ended up just being great.
That's awesome. And that it must show. I mean, you don't get busy by not knowing what you're doing. So if people want to get in touch with you, Wild Walleye Outfitters, what's the easiest way to find information and get in touch with you right now?
I got it set up so that you can actually just go on your smartphone and Google Wild Walleye Outfitters, and it'll take you straight to my Facebook page.
Nice.
And from the Facebook page, you can message me. There is an instant call button to where you can call me with, right there from the page. Or you can get on Facebook and look up Wild Walleye Outfitters. I am also on Instagram under Wild Walleye Outfitters. Or if you don't do any of that, you can just go ahead and call me. My cell phone number is 605-519-4286.
All right. Well, Kevin, I appreciate the quick little update here this morning. Thanks a lot for making time here on a Saturday and coming on, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
You bet. Kevin Vaughn, Wild Walleye Outfitters. If you want to get some good fishing in the Black Hills, anywhere in the state, I guarantee he'll take you anywhere. Give him a call. Again, 605-519-4286, or just look at Wild Walleye Outfitters. Google it. Go to the Facebook page or Instagram, all the good social media. We'll have more coming up. Andy Murdoch joins me next. Hey folks, Scott Bachmeyer on behalf of the Medicine Rocks Ranch annual production sale, Friday, April 26, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Auction Market. Selling 85 head of top cut bulls and 80 head of fancy commercial heifers. We're not getting any younger or faster. When I sat down with Medicine Rocks crew, I asked them how important it is to choose for docility.
We don't believe that a guy gets a true test of docility from these hand-fed bulls. Anybody can make something quiet when you pack them a bucket of grain every day. Our bulls with less handling, you truly see what they are on sale day. We just believe that there's no sense in bad disposition, and when we're calving our cows, we have a zero tolerance policy. Well, if I can't go out and sit down on that calf and put a tag in his ear and weigh that calf, he will never make the sale because we don't want to sell that disposition down the road.
I hope to see you on sale day, Friday, April 26, 1 p.m. at the Bowman Auction Market. And if you want more information, go to medicinerocksranch.com. That's medicinerocksranch.com. Well, folks, I'm sitting with Andy Murdoch from Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty. Andy, I know you have a couple great sales. What do you got?
Well, Scott, we are winding down the spring equipment auctions with two excellent retirement sales in Bentley and Fort Yates, North Dakota. These two outstanding auctions feature Case Combine, late model Case, and versatile high horsepower tractors, three really nice loader tractors that are ready to go to work, and lots of planting, tillage, harvest, and livestock equipment. Also check out the Peterbilt, Kenworth, Freightliner trucks, cattle pots, grain trailers, and much more. All these sales happen April 23rd and April 25th in Bentley and Fort Yates, North Dakota. Full inventory lists can be found online at Pfeifers.com.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com. Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Sitting with Joe here. We're in the reloading section. Joe, what's going on at Mandan Sporting Goods reloading supplies?
Well, I don't know. We got a lot of guys loading for coyotes, getting ready for the prairie dogs and whatnot. Got some of the latest powders in, like the Lever Revolution powders, AR powder. We got a full supply. Good bunch of bullets there. Just about anything you want. If you ain't got it, we'll order it for you.
And if somebody wants to come in and get a discount on BS, is that available?
We got a discount this week, maybe this month, half price.
210 Mandan East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by for all your reloading supplies.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust is happy to serve the communities we are in. Whether it's sponsoring a local team or rodeo, helping take tickets, or having a good neighbor club loyalty event, we are thankful for the great communities we live in. Without the community, we are just a bank. Please visit us at any of our 11 locations to learn more about us. We're in Bismarck, Bowman, Dickinson, Glen Ullin, Hebron, Taylor, Lincoln, Mandan, and New Leipzig. Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651.
I'll see oak swamp bottom dewdrop falling. Old Tom answering a hoot house calling. Nothing like the sound when the day breaks. Me and Daddy in the woods on a Saturday. See, his granddaddy hunted these hills, and I hope someday that my kids will. He said, do me a favor before I'm gone. Love this land and pass it on. Pass it on. He showed me how to cast a line.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition this morning on KFYR Bismarck, KOLY, Mobridge, and also KGFX, Pierre, South Dakota. Good to have you along. And everybody on YouTube videoing right now. Hello, how you doing? All the way from Georgia, Vance. Good to have you listening, all the way, listening and watching. Sorry it's this mug here on YouTube, but I guess it is what it is, right? My next guest here is from Piper's Auction Realty, Mr. Andy Murdoch. Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Not too bad. How are you today?
Oh, it's best day. Have you looked outside? It's finally spring. I mean, I'm loving it right now. This is awesome.
It's outstanding. We spent all yesterday finishing up, cleaning up for a couple of sales and getting them set up for next week. And it started out kind of windy and kind of chilly, and all of a sudden, boom, it was 85. So
yeah, I actually got a little bit of sunburn yesterday. Can you believe it? Yeah, the fair skin winter, all winter, then pretty soon just a little bit of sun, and there it is. My face is all red. So I mean, you're busy. I know you got a lot of stuff coming up. Let's start out. We have 3 auctions coming up that in the next 7 days, I believe it is, right?
Yep. So next week's going to be kind of our really busy week of the year.
Okay.
We start out on Tuesday, southwest of Bismarck in Bentley, North Dakota. It's only about 7 or 8 miles southwest of New Leipzig. So try to help some guys out. So we're about 8 miles south of Bentley for a retirement auction. It's outstanding, lineup of equipment with we got 2 air seeders and a 2012 white Challenger corn planter. Lots of case equipment, and this is extremely, extremely nice red equipment down here. We'll start off with a combine, a 2010 Case IH 8120 combine, and a Case 550 HD Steiger. I think it's got $1,900 on it, and we've got a 2014 Case 260 Magnum tractor, and I believe that has less than $1,000 on it. It's like 970 or 965. Lots of loader tractors here that are coming up this week, and then there's a 2007 John Deere 4730 sprayer, and that's with $1,500 on it for a 2007. it looks like it's brand new.
Well,
it's a beautiful, beautiful sprayer.
I can tell you this because I helped drive that sprayer, and let me tell you, that's fun. I almost want to start farming just a little bit so I can spray with something like that. That was nice, man. That's like cruising in a Cadillac.
Yeah, exactly. And for anybody who's just looking for a good self-propelled sprayer and doesn't need to have this still has booms, I believe, and it's got an 800-gallon tank. So if you're not looking for a 4930 or 120 foot $300,000 sprayer, this little 2007 John Deere 4730 with only $1,500 on it is immaculate. It's really nice. Got duals loaded up on the back as well. So
yep.
Lots of trucks coming up this week, and you had a chance to see some of those trucks down at the Bentley sale at Hintz's, and
I got to drive one all day. Yeah,
exactly. There's a lot of Freightliners down there.
So I let my
Freightliners down there.
I let my CDL go, so it took me a while to remember how to shift again, but I got it by the end of the day. I had it. John made sure of it. So yeah, no, those semis are just in really nice shape.
Yeah, there's 3 really good Freightliner trucks down there: 2009, a 1997, and a 94, and then there's a couple of really nice grain trucks. So lots of grain support, grain handling equipment, and then both sales really have a lot of good livestock equipment, ranch equipment as well. So, and that's primarily what we're going to find on Thursday when we get down to Fort Yates, and that's the Rudy Hepburn family sale. And Hepper, as you well know, is a name synonymous with just successful ranching. So we got lots of really nice trucks down there. We got a Peterbilt in Kenworth, and we've got a great cattle pot. I believe it's a 2012 Merit. There is one really nice 4-wheel drive tractor down there. It's a 2006 Versatile 485 horsepower tractor, only $700, like a brand new tractor. And then we get into the loader tractors. There's 3 or 4 really nice loader tractors, good John Deere tractors, really good hay equipment, livestock equipment, and we've got a Vermeer bale processor that looks like it's brand new. We've got a couple of swathers. We've got a few pull type swathers or hydro swings, and lots of really good equipment. So
I tell you what, and more auctions you're seeing, everybody's taking care of their equipment just better and better. And it's a great time to, if you're looking, buying new versus going to an auction and buying used, the equipment is barely broke in some of these auctions. So, it's just, makes sense to always, whether you're online or you can make it to the sale itself. It's just, you can put more trust in this equipment nowadays, can't you?
Absolutely. And, you really want to do your homework on the guys that you're buying from,
right.
And when you have good, reputable sellers, you can look at the rest of the equipment and realize that, we're going to get along well here just because of the kind and quality and the care and the maintenance and what we've been looking for. So,
how about land auctions? You got any of those coming up too?
We're starting to wrap up the season here pretty. It's been an extremely busy spring. I don't know how many. I guess I didn't do a total count on how many sales we've had so far. It gets to be kind of a busy April,
right?
But we're really starting to wrap up a lot of the land sales here, as well. Guys are starting to get into the field. We went through region here yesterday, and there's a few thousand acres that are already done there. So them boys have really hit it hard. But the one sale that we do really have up here is in Minnesota. This is pretty. 4,500 acres of the best cropland you've ever seen in the Red River Valley. So
I'm going to have you say that again, Andy.
I believe they got to split into 28. Okay.
You kind of broke up there a little bit, so I want to have you say that again so people could hear what you said there.
Okay. Well, they'll split into 28 parcels.
Okay.
It's 4,500 acres of some of the prime ground in the Red River Valley, in Clay and Norman County, Minnesota's. Counties, Minnesota, plural on the counties, not the state. Soils range from the mid 80s to the mid 90s on average on the soil PI. So really some of the best ground you'll ever have a chance to take a look at. So if you're looking for investment property, if you're looking for tremendous farm ground in the Red River Valley, here's an opportunity right here with 4,500 acres and 28 parcels to buy anywhere from an 80 to a full quarter.
That's awesome. It's just crazy to hear that kind of PI out on that side compared to what we're over here in the Badlands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
So, well, I tell you what, equipment auctions, land auctions, and this land auction here is online only. There's no live bidding or nothing. It's online, correct?
Well, just on this land auction, yeah.
Right, just on the land auction.
Equipment auction.
Yeah.
Yep, the equipment auctions obviously will be live and online, both Tuesday and Thursday. And so yeah, you can, if you're going to, and Scott, you can probably talk about it better than I can. I'm not allowed on the front side because I'm an administrator for our website, but
sure.
You have the ability to bid on our mobile app as well.
I tell you what, that's the easiest way that I found to do this, because you just download it's Pifer's app. Just go and download it on your Droid or iPhone. You set up basically an email and password, and then Allie will approve you. And then it's just easy. I mean, you can go through, the audio is great. You can hear everything perfectly, and you can bid as you go, and you can text back and forth if you have any questions. So that's the way I do it if I have enough service out here in the Badlands. But that's the way I like to do it, because it seems a lot easier when you have that separate app like that.
Yep. I just really wanted to touch on that, because we fully understand you're coming into Tuesday and Thursday here this week, that there's a high possibility guys are going to want to be either, working cattle or going to be out in the field. So take full advantage of that mobile system. If you guys have any questions, give us a call.
Where do we find you?
You can contact either Jim, John, Allie, or myself at 701-523-7366. You can see the entire lineup of all the sales coming up, including the full inventory of this week's equipment auctions, and that's all live right at pifers.com.
So you got the Bentley auction just north of Lemon, South Dakota. You got the Hepper auction, which is Fort Yates area. So a lot of people can have a lot of chance to get out and get to a good auction here coming up.
That's right. Both of them pretty centrally located, great access. It's going to be easy to get there and easy to get your equipment out.
Okay. Mr. Andy Murdoch, thank you, sir. And we'll see you probably Tuesday for sure. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining us.
You bet. Andy Murdoch, Pifer's Auction and Realty. For more information, go to pifers.com. Or if you want to take a ride with me and go over to the auction, you can do that too, as long as the heifer's done calving. More coming up. Trent Loos is my guest for the second half hour coming up here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Hey folks, Scott Bachmeyer on behalf of the Medicine Rocks Ranch annual production sale, Friday, April 26, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Bowman Auction Market. Selling 85 head of top-cut bulls and 80 head of fancy commercial heifers. We're not getting any younger or faster. When I sat down with Medicine Rocks crew, I asked them how important it is to choose for docility.
We don't believe that a guy gets a true test of docility from these hand-fed bulls. Anybody can make something quiet when you pack them a bucket of grain every day. Our bulls with less handling, you truly see what they are on sale day. We just believe that there's no sense in bad disposition, and when we're calving our cows, we have a zero tolerance policy. Well, if I can't go out and sit down on that calf and put a tag in his ear and weigh that calf, he will never make the sale, because we don't want to sell that disposition down the road.
I hope to see you on sale day, Friday, April 26, 1 p.m. at the Bowman Auction Market. And if you want more information, go to medicinerocksranch.com. That's medicinerocksranch.com. Well, folks, I'm sitting with Andy Murdoch from Pifer's Auction and Realty. Andy, I know you have a couple great sales. What do you got?
Well, Scott, we are winding down the spring equipment auctions with two excellent retirement sales in Bentley and Fort Yates, North Dakota. These two outstanding auctions feature Case Combine, late model Case and versatile high horsepower tractors, three really nice loader tractors that are ready to go to work, and lots of planting, tillage, harvest, and livestock equipment. Also check out the Peterbilt, Kenworth, Freightliner trucks, cattle pots, grain trailers, and much more. All these sales happen April 23rd and April 25th in Bentley and Fort Yates, North Dakota. Full inventory lists can be found online at pifers.com.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Mandan Sporting Goods, 210 East Main. Sitting with Joe here. We're in the reloading section. Joe, what's going on at Mandan Sporting Goods reloading supplies?
Well, I don't know. We got a lot of guys loading for coyotes, getting ready for the prairie dogs and whatnot. Got some of the latest powders in, like the Lever Revolution powders, new AR powder. We got a full supply. Good bunch of bullets there. Just about anything you want. If you ain't got it, we'll order it for you.
And if somebody wants to come in and get a discount on BS, is that available?
We got a discount this week, maybe this month, half price.
210 East Main. It's Mandan Sporting Goods. Stop by for all your reloading supplies.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust is happy to serve the communities we are in. Whether it's sponsoring a local team or rodeo, helping take tickets, or having a good neighbor club loyalty event, we are thankful for the great communities we live in. Without the community, we are just a bank. Please visit us at any of our 11 locations to learn more about us. We're in Bismarck, Bowman, Dickinson, Glen Ullin, Hebron, Taylor, Lincoln, Mandan, and New Leipzig. Dakota Community Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Hi, everybody. This is Scott Bachmeyer, and besides being the host of Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio and also a rancher in the Badlands, I'm also an auctioneer. So if you're looking to auction off property, maybe you have farm equipment, a production sale coming up, even a benefit or a fundraiser, I'm the guy that can help you out. Maybe you're listening and you have your own auction company and you find yourself short of help sometimes. I can step up as an auctioneer or even help as a ringman. Give me a call, send me a message, 701-425-6651. That's 701-425-6651.
Mossy oak, swamp bottom, dewdrop falling. Old Tom answering a hoot house calling. Nothing like the sound when the day breaks. Me and Daddy in the woods on a Saturday. See, his granddaddy hunted these hills, and I hope someday that my kids will. He said, do me a favor before I'm gone. Love this land and pass it on. Pass it on. He showed me how to cast a line.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition for April 20th. Good to have you along here. KFYR Bismarck. KOLY, Mulbridge, South Dakota. Also KGFX, Capital City in Pierce, South Dakota as well. On YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio, as we're live streaming right now here. A few people all the way from Georgia. Thanks for tuning in down that way, too. I do appreciate that here. So if you want to see a rerun or if you want to miss something on the interview here on the radio that you're listening to, 6 states and a couple Canadian provinces, you can always go to my YouTube channel as that interview will be uploaded as soon as I'm off the air here. So I would like to welcome here in the second half of the program, Mr. Trent Loos. Good morning, sir. It's been a while since I had you on here. Thanks for coming on the program.
Well, yeah, I didn't know you were expanding like the waistline of the average American.
I'm very.
I didn't think you're ever going to get through with all the accolades on where we can hear you now. Good grief!
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that Dakota Radio Group has been so gracious to allow me to come on their stations on a Saturday too. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a good time. How have you been doing?
Dakota Radio Group's been nice to me too, Scott.
Yeah, good deal.
I actually don't want to be with you today. You know that.
I know you don't. You had to get up early.
Well, I don't mind getting up at 6 o'clock. And I meant 6 o'clock because I'm looking at the Ruby Mountains in Lamoille, Nevada. Right. But I got here at 2:30.
Oh. Well, just pretend it's like a heifer check. You know, you just have to get up and you have to do it.
That's exactly why I don't want to get up. I don't want to do that either.
That's why you take off and you let your wife do all the work. Oh, I see how it is.
It's about time you figure this out. Well, we've been friends 18 years and you're just now figuring that out.
Well, I'm scanning right now. I'm down to one heifer and I'm scanning my heifer pen right now. They have this cool thing. It's called technology, Trent. You can actually get cameras and, look at your herd no matter where you are in the United States right now.
Okay, I have an issue with that, and this is going to take more time than when you want it to take, but can we talk about that?
Go ahead.
So I helped this lady on a project in New Hampshire last year, and she ultimately got convicted. Well, we did talk about that at one time, I think. And she wanted to just say thank you because I wasn't for hire. I just was trying to help somebody who owned animals. And she sent me this thing. I'm not going to tell you the name of it because it doesn't matter, but apparently there's 2 of them. And it sits in your living room. It sits on your counter. You can talk to it. You can do all these other things with it. Tell it to play. By the way, you need to play Tom T. Hall's old song, "Who's Gonna Feed the Hogs?" It's actually a little too close to my life. But anyway,
okay.
So it's sitting on our counter. And Lindsay and I went to the World Pork Expo last year in Des Moines in June, a couple of days before Kelly and Landry. They had to do something. They're coming later. And we got back to our hotel room at 10 o'clock at night, and Kelly didn't answer the phone. I don't know what she was doing. I just said, well, your mom didn't answer. And Lindsay said, well, she's not in the house. I said, what do you mean? Well, she's not in the house. I'm looking at the living room. She, my then 15-year-old daughter, knew how to hack into that little gizmo sitting on the counter in our house, and she could see what the TV was on, who was in the building.
Yeah.
So your little security camera that you got watching heifers, I guarantee I've got a 14-year-old that could hack into that.
Oh, I'm sure they could. Absolutely. Yeah. Anything that has an IP
I'm
address.
all about privacy.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
Hey, if your 14-year-old wants to watch my heifers for me, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Yeah, except she's 11 hours away, and by the time she gets there, it's going to be too late. I'm just telling you.
She can just give me a call. I'll sleep until my phone goes off.
Yeah.
Is what I'll do.
It's not my 14-year-old watching your heifers. I'm worried about the view shed from.
Well, I got to be careful who all see. I give the IP address out to a couple people. So if like the other day, I went into the Brooks Bull sale, and somebody else can be watching.
Right.
If there's troubles, I can make it home in time or something. But I got to be careful what I do out in that corral. I just don't know who's watching, which one of the people I gave the IP address to.
So you got to be strategic where you pee now.
Absolutely, you know exactly what I was talking about, don't you?
I just want to make sure everybody had the picture.
And there are some times I know who is watching, and I'll do something just for fun too. You got to do that, right? I mean, you're out here calving by yourself a lot of times. You got to be.
You have buddies that are so hard up for things to do, they watch you in your yard.
Yep, I do. one guy, and he's watching on YouTube right now. Oh man. Oh, it's good stuff. It's been a while since I talked to you. I heard you and Marty Beard talking about what was it, rendering beaver tail or eating beaver tail or something like that. None of that sounded good to me. So I did not.
And then he sent me a picture of the roasted beaver tail. I don't know how much time he's got to waste, but he went to the trouble to actually grill beaver tail and then send me a picture and said, hey, you should post this with our show on Facebook. Because, he's banned from Facebook. He can't be on there.
For life. I never thought that was possible.
In the Oval Office. Yeah.
The one person.
The one and only.
One and only, Marty Beard, the turd burglar himself. So I wanted to give you an update here. We're on plenty of stations that cover a lot of ag news and what's been happening down in Nebraska. It seems like everything's just kind of went off. And nobody has said anything about anything going on down there here for quite a while. I talked to you on the phone here earlier. A couple of friends of mine want to send some hay down and got in contact with Farm Rescue, but maybe there's enough hay. Maybe we need to help in different ways. I don't know. What's the latest going on?
So first of all, Scott, I've been involved with several of these now, none of them up close and personal like the Nebraska situation. And in places, it was the most devastating thing I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. I won't walk you through how it actually happened. Some people are now blaming the Army Corps of Engineer. That might be an issue on the Missouri River. It's not on the little rivers that, like the Middle Loop. It was just a perfect natural disaster to cause the damage.
Right.
And it's amazing the generosity. And we now have, there's 6 official Nebraska Department of Ag sites at taking hay. They're all basically full. I mean, 800 bales at the state fair, over 1,000 bales at Verdigris, that many at Columbus. And it's just such an interesting dichotomy because we don't need hay.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who called me, I said, don't just load up hay and come and dump it at the yard because we're at the point where we don't know what we're going to do with it. The state fair is scared to death that they're going to have 600 bales sitting there when it's time to start the state fair, and what are they going to do with it? So the thing is, and I do want to put a plug in for Farm Rescue. The only entity that I know of that handled this correctly was Farm Rescue, because to the best of my knowledge, they went to an individual. And everybody who contacted me, I said, if you know somebody that needs hay, or if you want me to help you find somebody that needs hay, that's fine. Otherwise, if you want to help, sell the hay, send some money, because the bigger issue is fence. The flooding just destroyed so many thousands of miles of fence or other supplies. I said, so sell the hay, send a check so that people can actually get what they need. Because at this point, I'm pretty well convinced everybody just wants to take a picture, post a video of the next caravan of hay going to Nebraska so that they feel good. That is not what we need. Right. Again, I restate, unless you're doing like Farm Rescue and you know exactly who and where it needs to go, that's fine. But if you don't have a place and a person that actually needs hay, find another way.
Yeah. I can't imagine how many miles of fence are just devastated, tore out, washed out. You know, how are they keeping their cattle in right now? Or, I mean, do you know the cattle loss, what it actually was?
No.
Okay.
I don't know that we will ever know. I do know that I want to make sure everybody understands that Sonny Perdue, one day speaking on Fox Business and News Insider, said that the cattle losses in Nebraska, this was in the first week, are already in the millions. And I contacted him because I was asked to. He said, Trent, I'm so glad you got a hold of me, because the minute I said that, I knew that I screwed up. And he said, I want to come on your show and get that corrected. But it was kind of like the horses out of the barn.
Right.
It's significant for people. You see, the flooding wasn't like Noah's Ark days. It was more of those that live in conjunction to a river or somewhere in a valley. People just apparently forgot that a river bottom or the Platte River Valley is so because at one point in time there was a massive flood, and probably pretty regularly before we started managing things like water flow. But for those that live in a river bottom or a valley, the most common sentiment I get is that we might have lost a generation. Ooh. If we hold it together. We're a generation back of where we were.
Wow.
Mike Kaminsky, who lives about 7 miles from me, he's probably the worst in my area. He lost 5 acres of a cornfield. This is in the course of one evening. 5 acres of a cornfield that he planted for 52 years left.
Wow.
And he's the biggest loss in my area, and there are individuals like that. But calves left. I mean, those that are in the flood-impacted region, the calves are gone. I did have to give my governor a little grief that there was a temporary, a temporary pause on dead animal removal. I sent him a text and I said, well, that's a nice gesture, but those dead animals, we don't have to worry about getting rid of them. They're now in the Missouri River floating towards the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
Because they just left.
Yeah. How do you recover from something like that? I mean,
one day at a time.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's the only way, man. And here's the other thing is, so when people were taking hay, and I'm just telling you how it was with the hay situation, they continued to take it. They continued to, the state fair donated over 30 hours of work time every week since the flood just to handle the hay, unloading, loading, doing whatever they're doing. Right. And everybody continued to do that because of what you just said to start this whole conversation out. Everybody knew that for the first 2 weeks, it would be on the minds of every person, and they'd want to do something to help. And you get 30 days out, you get 60 days out, it's going to be a distant memory. So people knew that we needed to continue to find a way to make it happen so that there could be contributions to recovery. But I'm guessing half of the hay that was delivered will not be fed this year. Before this great, because we're turning cows out here next week in places.
Yeah. So what's going to happen to that hay? You just going to sit there and rot, or are they going to
divvy
it up,
sure,
or what?
Well, how do you divvy it up? And there's the other part that nobody really wants to talk about. And we saw this up close and personal with the Atlas Blizzard in South Dakota. You know, there was a tremendous amount of money through the generosity of people that showed up in the relief fund. And no rancher would say, hey, I need help. You know, my neighbor, Johnny, he's in worse shape than I am. It continues to be the great challenge. So I think at the end of the year, I'll have about 800 bales in my yard.
There you go. Stock up, I guess, huh?
No, you know, and Scott, that I learned so much about, I've never accepted a dime from the USDA, the U.S. government. I will not. I have not, and I will not. But there was so much learned that I'm now working on within the Trump community and the USDA and the Trump Ag Advisory Committee. Did you know that if you are one of these people that are impacted, you could not fix your fence within 30 days or you're automatically out of their assistance program?
Is that right? You have to.
Because there are 34 groups, tribal groups, environmental groups, that have to have 30 days worth of time to access that property to see if you are impacting any, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like NEPA studies.
Sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, this is a direction of NEPA is exactly what it is.
Oh, man.
But this is private property. This is not the Little Missouri grazing land. It's my land.
Right.
And if you went in there and started moving dirt to fix your fence, you're automatically out of the program. And that was happening before guys knew that was the case. And so that's a major problem that we're trying to fix. Obviously not for this situation, but when it happens again
down the road. Somebody's posting on YouTube right now, and they mentioning about ranchers, farmers, not so-and-so's in a worse position. He says they need to be willing to say and admit they need it. However, it's kind of a proud industry. So we're working against something like that too.
Isn't that an understatement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
how do you multitask and keep track of all of these avenues you got going out, or you just make that stuff up?
Trent, I multitask so much that while we were just sitting here discussing things, guess what I found?
I met him in a hospital about a year ago.
I found
Who's gonna feed them hogs?
Who's gonna feed them hogs? Yeah.
He'd lie there and cry out in a.
I remember hearing this song when I was a kid, Trent. When it's bringing back memories of when my dad and I were driving around here fixing fence. I love it.
Yeah, it is awesome. I need to get it as my ringtone. That's what I need to do.
Well, I just had to pay $1.29 to get it for you, buddy. So,
well, shoot it to me, then I don't have to pay.
Well, I don't even know if I can do that. I don't think that's legal in the whole the world of iTunes.
It's
here.
not like nobody's going to know about it. Just do it.
Yeah. My smart speaker's listening to me right now. They'll know exactly what's going on. Oh, I tell you. Well, it's tough to see that flooding. Hopefully everybody gets back on their feet and, just go at it for another year. It's one of those industries. Yeah, it's a proud industry, but it's one of those where, there's a lot of us that dig pretty darn deep. I was reading, and I don't know if everything on Facebook is posted that's true, but North and South Dakota.
You don't know?
No,
wait a minute. You don't know?
Some of it is true. The stuff I post is true. Yeah. But I was reading an article from, I think it was KX News, that North and South Dakota each lost like 200 to 300, farms last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. It's sad to hear that.
I don't know what that means.
I didn't read the article deep enough. Well, you don't want to see anything. I'm guessing that other people are possibly getting bigger, but there are
because
people getting tough times.
There's no farms that go out of production. So obviously 200 to 300 families sold to somebody else, or or had a recent agreement with somebody else. They quit farming is what I'm taking from that.
That's what I'm guessing too.
Yeah.
Yep. Clay Peterson wants to say hi via YouTube, and there you go. I put it out there for you.
Clay's got a 14-year-old that can help him figure out how to get on YouTube.
I think they're younger than that. I think, yeah.
Must work.
But, he probably sent this.
Hey, Clay.
He probably sent it like 10 minutes ago because his internet's a little bit slower out there. So,
yeah,
a little bit more.
Well, he does live in a great part of a little piece of heaven. I'll give him that.
He does. He does. Well, I guess we're down to the last few seconds here. Anything else happening that we need to be in?
Well, yeah,
up to date
we
on?
could have conquered a lot of new territory, but you had to get some guy named Andy Murnock on. Really?
Yeah, we got some good sales coming up, man. Really good sales.
Okay.
We could do. I know we could have done a whole hour, but I didn't want to get you up a half hour earlier than you needed to.
Yeah, I know. I'd have more to whine about that way.
Hey, how was Yankton, South Dakota?
Yankton was awesome.
Good.
Families feeding families. We need to replicate what those folks did in that region. 400 people showed up to celebrate agriculture and food production. And most significantly, Scott, over half of them, I estimate, were not farm people.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah. Just search in your favorite spy center, families feeding families, and you'll get a full rendition of what we did.
Yeah, that sounds like a great. It's more people need to take a little bit of time and research the good that's happening out there instead of always listening to the negative on the television or the radio. What's happening, So.
That's my motto every day, and that's basically where I started my conversation that evening because I didn't do a thing. All I did was show up and talk for 48 minutes. Mm-hmm. But I said to everyone, you remember back when we would go to our neighbors and play cards and we would sit and just, have fellowship with one another? That's what this feels like. And that's what we need to get back to.
Yeah.
We're just always, and we're as bad as anybody. We're running harem scarum everywhere, every day. I just need to stop and smell the roses, for lack of a better pun.
Yeah. Well, I do agree. Trent, it's if you want to stay on the line here, I've got a couple things I want to talk to you off air, if that's all right.
Well, I got to unload some hogs, but maybe Tom T. Hall will fix that. Thanks for having me, Scott.
You bet. Trent Loos.
I need to come see you.
Yep. Branding at the end of May. We'll have you up here. Bring a mule.
You tell me that. Every year you tell me that.
Bring a mule and we'll have that and Marty Beard. Anyway, I got to go. Trent Loos, thanks for coming on the program. Thanks for listening to Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition.